you think that I'm an answer if you ain't mine? Even if you call me up on
Ladies and gentlemen, we need to talk about The Last of Us on HBO. Spoilers ahead, ladies and gentlemen. Spoilers ahead. Welcome to another Ninjas and Nerds news segment of the show. I am your host, Treyez. We're going to go ahead and dive right into it. We're going to skip the intro today. The Last of Us, okay? Like I said, spoilers ahead. We need to talk about the show. So the first thing I want to say about this show is it's a really good show. I've said before that I have never played the games. I've never played them. I wasn't interested in another zombie horror game. But I gotta admit, the show has convinced me. Now, there's some controversy going on with the show because of the third episode. So the first episode started out with a bang. You introduce us to Joel, his daughter. He loses his daughter. Again, spoilers. And then you go into this post-apocalyptic world where basically Galacticeps fungus has evolved into this zombie mind-controlling fungus. It's madness, man. It's mad. And the first episode convinced me. It locked me in. The second episode continued that momentum. And then you have the third episode. And so what's going on with the third episode is that Joel Joel needs a vehicle. He's with Ellie, which is this young mysterious girl who has apparently been bitten, but she hasn't changed into a flesh-eating zombie. So they introduce us to these two new characters, Bill and Frank. And the thing with them is they're a gay couple. Fine, whatever the case may be. It makes sense because he's this paranoid conspiracy theorist who was already prepared for this, right? He had a bunker full of guns, ammo, supplies, and things. He built his neighborhood that was empty into a fortress, and it was just him. And then he runs into Frank, who he basically saved. And then it makes sense that they would form a relationship, because if you think you're the last person alive and you've been here by yourself for so long, you're probably yearning for some type of interaction from another human being. So it doesn't surprise me that they had a relationship, and they were gay in the game, right? So I don't have a problem with them being gay. For me though, I did skip like the kissing and the sex scenes, because I mean, if it makes me a homophobe, did I find that gross? Two sweaty, hairy, bearded men kissing and having sex? Ugh. If that makes me a homophobe, then send me my verification card. So the thing is, the episode is fine, but it makes no sense, because why did we spend a whole episode on these two when they both die at the end? It makes no sense, right? I thought that the episode was going towards the end. I thought that Frank, again, spoilers, he was sick. There was no cure. He just wanted to die. And so he asked Bill to basically overdose him in his wine, which he did. But he also overdosed himself. So I'm like, I thought that we were going to get Bill by himself again, and then he was going to eventually team up with Joel and Ellie, because, you know, he got tons of guns and supplies and stuff like that, because that would have made sense, right? Well, he decides to kill himself too. So we spent the entire episode on these two characters that are inconsequential to the story. The only thing they were there for were to give Joel his supplies that he needed to go on his journey. What? So why did we spend the entire episode on these people? It has nothing to do with them being gay. Nobody cares. If it was a woman and a man, or a woman and a woman, at the end of the episode, I still would have been like, so wait a minute. We just spent an entire hour on two characters who just die at the end of the episode? What? Anyway, that's not the point I want to talk about. The point I want to talk about, right, is that the media is coming out and calling people homophobic again. And now you got the director saying that they had to trick people into watching a gay romance. The Last of Us third episode was directed by It's a Sin and Umbrella Academy's Peter Hoare, who wanted to show that gay love is as normal as any other kind of love. Okay, sure. He says he tricked audiences into experiencing it so he could get that message across, conveying that queerness isn't something to shy away from. It isn't something that needs to be shied away from. It's something that we're going to shy away from because we don't care about it. We don't care to see it. Episode 3 is a touching love story between Frank and Bill, letting us be the fly on the wall as we watch them grow gray together while the years pass by. It's heartwarming, but it is also resonated with so many for its unashamed queerness. Nobody cares, bro. Like, all right, cool. Like, but anyway, sometimes you have to sort of trick the rest of the world into watching these things before they're like, oh my God, it was two guys. I just realized. Hoare said in the interview with, I think then they might understand that it's all real. It's just that it didn't make me understand nothing. What? It didn't make me understand anything. Okay, two gay dudes. I don't care. I'm just as unconcerned, not caring. Like public. So remember they talked about public displays of affection make people weird, right? When you see a couple, a straight couple, you know, touching each other and kissing each other out in public, you kind of like, all right, bro, like, get a room. You literally hear people say, get a room. Like, it's widely known that people don't really care about it. So when you take when you take two men, two hairy, sweaty, nasty, bearded men, and you make them, it's repulsive. I'm sorry. If that makes people homophobes, oh freaking well. But so now you have this director coming out and saying that they had to trick people. So you cannot tell me there is no agenda. We already seen it from Disney. Okay, we know what Disney on. But these people, you cannot tell me, if you have to trick me into watching something, first of all, you ain't tricked me because I already knew it was coming from seeing the stuff online. And I chose to watch it because I was interested in the story. So what you did was, you tried to trick people into watching it when this had no bearing on the story whatsoever. Their relationship has no bearing on the story. The only thing it explains is how Joel got the truck he's driving. That's it. Or the weapons or the supplies. Okay, Joel and Ellie went in there and took a shower. Other than that, it has no bearing on the story. The first two episodes were great. The second episode, it wasn't bad. I wouldn't lie to your face and tell you that it's a bad episode. But it has no bearing on the story whatsoever. It's purely an episode where some gay director wanted to stick it to the homophobes and shove queerness down your throat. Okay, well, congratulations. Now people are no longer going to support the show. Congratulations. All you had to do was keep your mouth shut, because the episode itself isn't the problem. All you had to do was keep your mouth shut and just say, hey, I'm going to let my art speak for itself. Okay, like, people had already assumed that this show was going to be a woke disaster before it came out. And then it came out and people was like, holy shit, this is actually pretty good. And then the third episode came out and you got some people, you know, okay, they didn't like it. You know, you got those people that's just not going to like it. I was okay with it. I just skipped the parts I didn't like. But now you got to come out and we tricked the audience into watching this stuff. Congratulations. Congratulations. If you think that I'm going to be counting my view towards this, you got another thing coming. Because it ain't going to happen. Guys, let me know what y'all think down in the comments. I will talk to y'all a little bit later. Deuces.
Let's go. Hey. Beat that thing down like you started attention, my baby. You had some plans with your man, just tell him to cancel, my baby.